My city has had mayors
for a century, yet I'm the first female mayor. After 5 terms in office, I'm now the longest-serving mayor in our entire region. During that time, my view of elected leadership has changed. When I last spoke to a TEDx audience 10 years ago, I said then that everyone should run for elected office. And there's still good reason for that. We need more regular people shaping the communities that we want to live in. But today, I come to you with something more specific. We need more women to run for elected office. Why? To see my 17 years in office in context, when measuring all the states in our nation for women's power and influence, our state of South Carolina is in the lowest 1%. Because so few women here are in elected office, I take the privilege of my elected leadership especially seriously. This doesn't mean that every woman is the one who should win the race. It's not about giving women an automatic win just because they're women. It doesn't diminish men and their leadership. I work and collaborate with lots of great men in my role as mayor. My husband is my biggest champion. My father took care of our kids when I had meetings during the day, and it was hard to tell who was happier, my father or our kids. Yet, for about half of my time in office, I have been the only woman on our council. If we look at our state-level elected officials, South Carolina is practically dead last for the number of women representing us. We have had a female governor. We are home to the University of South Carolina, where our women's basketball coach, Dawn Staley, has elevated women's basketball so much so that fans pack the house every single game. Yet, we barely have any women walking through the doors of the State House. Women are half of our state's population, yet women are 13% of our state legislators. We can achieve better balanced representation not 20 years from now, not 10 years from now. Now, women, I'm talking to you. Yes, you, the one who just said to herself, I would never run for elected office. And the one with a satisfying career. And the one who thinks that's fine for other people, but not me. You know there are issues in your community that you care about. There is no more important way to volunteer than this. You are the answer. Let me say that again. You are the answer. Why not you? Your community, your state, your nation needs you. If you're listening, truly hear me. You are qualified now. If you can run a house, you can run for office. Women, are you a kindergarten teacher who can get 5-year-olds to all go in the same direction? Then you're ready for elected office. Do you follow all the political podcasts and geek out knowing who your elected leaders are? Then you're ready for elected office. If you don't know who any of your elected leaders are, but you want change, you're ready for elected office. If you've ever headed up your local homeowners association, you're overqualified. So what are we waiting for? When women are in office, they make laws that prevent violence against women. When women are in office, they champion laws about child care. And they have the South Carolina Chamber behind them. The same chamber that says that child care is an economic development issue. When women are in office, they create more economic development and more wealth opportunities for all of us. We are missing out on the value of women leaders for all of us. Research tells us that when we have men and women in office, we create a better track record of meaningful, measurable results. How do I know women can get into elected office and lead well? I'm living proof. I have a background in public health and was an unknown mom of a 2- and 3-year-old when I first ran. My campaign won with the support and leadership of 2 mom friends, one who is a park ranger and another who works in nonprofits. I then shined the light on a path for a woman who is a nurse, who became one of the youngest council members elected in our state at the time. She won against a former well-known police chief. I shined the light on the path for a stay-at-home mom with a prior career in managing restaurants and customer service, who thought she was just standing up for an issue in her neighborhood, but then she realized the way to make things better is to be one of the ones making the decisions. She won against an incumbent who works at a campaign firm, and she won every single precinct. The message: we have the power to be change makers, but we have to use it. Through the U.S. Department of State as the guest of embassies, through the International Visitor Leadership Program, and through Elected Fee, my Substack on women and leadership, I continue to shine a light on the path for women so that we all benefit from stronger, more resilient communities. So what can we do to create significant success and real results that makes our communities better? I'll share 5 stories and the lessons I learned from them that shined a light on the path for me. I first ran to serve our city as mayor because the prior mayor and council had voted to annex floodplain property across the river. Developers wanted to build on that land that floods regularly. Their decision put our taxpayer dollars at risk. It woke up a lot of residents. It compelled me to run for office. Lesson number 1, concern can be our motivation to run. My belief that I could lead my city started decades prior. When I was in 2nd grade, my mother started working for the mayor of Charleston, South Carolina. She was his director of media relations. I knew at a young age that things like parks and sidewalks didn't just happen. Somebody thought those things through. Lesson number 2, communities are made better by people with ideas. What's your idea? In the late 1980s, Charleston hosted the U.S. Conference of Mayors. My mom had us babysit for one of the mayors who brought his family with him, Mayor Richard Daley, former longtime mayor of Chicago. Lesson number 3, elected leaders are people like you and me, often with families. My mother had a poster in her office on her wall with a picture of a beautiful building and a quote that I've always remembered. Winston Churchill said, "We shape our buildings. Thereafter, they shape us." Lesson number 4, elected leaders can make a positive, lasting difference. Elected leaders like you. I also have a supportive father, maybe a girl dad before those things were labeled, and I have just the right amount of middle child sass that made me wildly believe that I was capable of most anything. And because nobody said I shouldn't or I couldn't be in elected office, when that issue popped up in our city, I believed I could lead and make things better, and I have. Lesson number 5, find the support, the motivation, and the experiences in your life that give you the conviction that you can do it, because you can. I said I would share 5 lessons, but I'm going to add in a bonus because this is as true as it gets. There is no mystery to running for office, no magic to it. It starts with you stepping forward. When you do, your impact will spread. Research tells us that when asked to draw an elected official, very young girls will draw a woman. But by the time they turn 10, they mostly start drawing men in that role. We can continue to help them to see women in those roles, to see themselves in those roles. Correction, you can. Believe it or not, leading can be fun. Being a part of the grassroots group in my community that cared about the floodplain meant I wasn't alone. You're not alone. There are people who care. You get to be in the room where decisions are made. You get to make decisions. You might get to bring life back to the forgotten heart of your city and make it a river arts district with stunning murals and small businesses that everyone can enjoy. You might get to have pride in having some of the lowest taxes and fees in the entire region with a high quality of life, because we have the most miles of Riverwalk Trail in this area, a less than 5-minute response time when our people need us in an emergency, and clean water in our homes. You get to make a positive difference, a difference that you and your neighbors can see and feel. We can rally around this. We can say, "Put me in, coach." We can pack the house and cheer on the women in the arena. And we can shine a light on the path so more women become elected leaders. When we do, we all win.